Community Connections, brought to you by Family's Choice Electrical Repair. Good afternoon. Welcome to Community Connections, brought to you by Family's Choice Electrical Repair. My name is Matt Wilkerson, along with Greg Steen. Greg, we've got a good one today.
I tell you what, I have been excited about this ever since we set this up. I've been like, today, can't wait till the day.
Yes. Kathy Bryant, County Commissioner of District 2.
Correct.
First of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here, taking the time out of a busy schedule.
It is my absolute pleasure to be here.
Love it, love it, love it. So, Greg, you want to kick us off? We've got a lot of questions up right in a short amount of time to do it.
Definitely. So we had some of our listeners wanting to know, what does a county commissioner do?
I love that question because there are a lot of people that want to know what we do, and there are so many facets to what we do. It actually is fairly complex. The easy answer is we are the policymakers for the county, as well as overseeing the budget, which is funded in part by ad valorem taxes that are collected from properties. Remember, though, that is just a portion of the revenue that funds the county budget, which we actually have our last final hearing on the budget a week from tonight at 6 o'clock at the Marion County Board of County Commissioners. So actually, that one's going to be, I believe, at the Livestock Pavilion. But anyway, we do a lot of different things. We also, we go to Tallahassee each year, and we advocate for different things for Marion County on a legislative basis. And then we also legislate for our local communities, our counties, on a statewide basis with the Florida Association of Counties. We are involved in planning future roads. We are involved in making sure that there is adequate funding to make sure our public safety entities are adequately staffed. We are involved in planning parks. We are involved in libraries. Anything that your county government handles, your Board of County Commissioners has a say-so in the policy that we set and the direction that we give our county administrator to implement those policies. Animal services, it is very busy. We have 23 departments in Marion County. Most people don't know that, but there are 23 departments to oversee.
Wow. Wow. So let me ask you this. Marion County, let's change gears real quick. Are you satisfied? We all like growth. I understand that. We like our businesses to grow. Are you satisfied with the level of growth that we are? Is it too fast? What do you think?
So that's a great question. I don't know how many of our listeners today will know this, but I was born and raised in Marion County. I've raised my family here, and now I have grandchildren that are being raised here. I was here when State Road 200 was just a 2-lane road.
She's dating yourself.
I am, and that's fine. I was here when they built the mall. I believe my high school marching band did the ribbon cutting for, at that time, I think it was Moss Brothers, when the Paddock Mall opened. I've seen a lot of change and a lot of growth. I'm not quite sure that satisfied would be the right question to ask.
Okay.
You know, we have a governor that is out there telling people, move to Florida, move to Florida, move to Florida. And I believe that the last number I heard was we have 1,000 people a day moving to Florida. 220 of those people a week are moving to Marion County. So I think the better question is, am I happy with how we're handling this? And my answer is yes. We are doing everything we can, and we are trying to be as proactive as we can to accommodate the growth that is absolutely hitting us while maintaining our identity. And let me tell you, that truly is a balancing act on a daily basis. The growth is great. It's helped many of our businesses. There's a lot of people in our community that are flourishing from this growth, but we also want to make sure that we don't lose what makes Marion County, Marion County.
It's true.
That's true. That's good.
Yep.
So with all of these tasks going on, I'm sure it has its day-to-day stresses. but what brings you joy as being a county?
Oh, as a county commissioner, I thought you were going to ask me just what brings me joy. Because that question would be easy.
Yes.
That would be my 6 grandchildren, soon to be 7 and 8, right?
Okay.
Or no, I'm soon to have 7 and 8 grandchildren. So that wasn't the question, but as a GG, I always have to brag on them.
Got to put that in there.
Got to put that in there.
Yeah.
I would say the thing that I find the most joy in is when I get to help someone with an issue that is very personal to them. Maybe they didn't know how to get a certain service that they needed. We had our public hearing for the budget last week, our first one, and we had quite a few people that turned out. And this is so simple, but to me, it made me feel good to know that I was helping some people. We had a lot of people that they just moved here in 2022. They didn't get the full value of their taxes, and now they got their 2023 tax bills or their trim notices, and those taxes are going up a lot because they are now going to be assessed the value. We had one lady that she wasn't sure how she was going to pay those taxes. I was able to give her direction to our community services department to possibly see if she might qualify for one of our programs for our low income who maybe can't afford those. That's just a small thing, but that's one of the things that I find joy in. And then also when we've got a project that we've been working on, a large project, and I get to see it come to fruition.
Yeah.
I get to drive around on a daily basis, and I get to see some of the things that we've been working on since I was elected to my first term in 2010. And I get to see the changes that those projects have made for our community. You know, when I ran in 2010, we were one of the hardest hit communities in the state of Florida. And it was a very rough time. We were one of the 3rd hardest hit communities or counties in the state. We had 14.3% unemployment in January of 2010. We were 3rd highest in the state for foreclosures, and we had lost 40% of our property values. Right. Yep. And so, yeah, when you think about where we were then and where we are now, and what I ran on in 2010 was diversifying our economic base. And when I drive around and I see what we've been able to accomplish,
I think we've done it.
I feel pretty good, and that brings me tremendous joy.
Nice.
And that's going to be one of our final questions as far as bragging on all the county commissioners, but we'll get to that in just a second. So in Marion County, not putting this on county commissioners or any of the other leaders in the community, just as a whole, where can we as a community do a better job in Marion County?
You know, we have so many great people in Marion County, so many great organizations. When there's someone in need, there is never a lack of people trying to jump in and fill the gap.
1,000%. Oh, yeah. There are a bunch of giving people.
We do. We have a tremendous community. I think the thing that I wish that we could do better, and I wish I could snap my finger and make it happen, but I can't, would be having the funding available today to go ahead and be able to do all of the projects that we have in the pipeline. Once those projects are done, it's going to make a tremendous difference in our community.
Wow, man, I love it. I love it. Greg, so what are the 2 biggest focus points that's going on right now in Marion County? The 2 biggest.
So you've hit on one of them already. With the growth, the challenges are infrastructure. So our biggest focus point right now is making sure that we have the infrastructure in place to be able to accommodate that growth that has hit us so quickly. Roads, transportation, right? We were very fortunate in 2016, our community saw fit to pass the 1 penny public safety and transportation infrastructure surtax. That has been a tremendous boost to us. Yes, a huge impact. It's allowed us to be able to move forward and buy capital for public safety, fire trucks, sheriff's cars, projects at the jail, build new fire stations, and then as well as work on some of our road projects that we had planned that we had gotten really far behind on during the Great Recession. I think we all know what happened with that. Mm-hmm. So infrastructure is one of the things that we are really, truly focused on. Another project that I am pretty excited about that we are working on already is a new animal services facility.
Okay.
Our animal services facility truly is rather antiquated. If you haven't been there, I highly recommend that you go out and take a look. It's out by the Baseline landfill, and it's small. And, you know, when it was built 30 years ago, 30 years ago, don't hold me to the exact number. Yeah, right. She's wrong. Anyway, it was for a community that was much smaller than the community that we live in today. Yes. And through the years, we've also become a lot more in tune with different things we can do to make sure our furry friends are comfortable while they have to be there, as well as the fact that in 2016, we changed the way that we operate our animal services facility. We went no-kill, which means that
we have a lot of animals.
We have a lot of animals. The only time that we euthanize is when it's absolutely necessary. Unfortunately, we have some of our guys that end up staying there a pretty long time.
Yeah.
And so this new facility is going to give us the green space that we need in order to ensure that while they are there, they have a good experience.
That's awesome.
Hopefully making it better, making it easier and better for them to be able to find that forever home, making them more adoptable animals. Not only that, but we actually have 2 different facilities that we operate. Because Marion County is Marion County, I see the look on your face right now. Because it is Marion County and we are the horse capital of the world, we don't just take in cute puppies and kittens. We take in all kinds of farm animals. We take in horses, goats, cows, pigs, chickens. I mean, you name it. And those are held at our facility out near Shocker Park. And so this new animal services facility is going to allow us to be able to house everything, our whole entire operation in one place, which is going to make a huge difference with how well that operation runs.
It sounds very efficient.
It will be very efficient, yeah.
Now, 2 quick things that I want to hit on. You've already touched on roads just a little bit.
Sure.
Roadways. 2 things I want to bounce off of that a little bit. Number 1, speaking of roadways, Mary Camp Road. I hear lots of comments on 17th Street. Is that going to be done? And also, can you speak a little bit quickly about the interchange?
Sure. So, and I've actually got one other corner I want to talk to you about.
Nice.
Mary Camp Road, they are in the process of, that will be resurfaced. I believe I have heard Chairman Curry say 2024. They're working on that. Remember, State Road 464, so that does fall under the purview of DOT. Up to a point before it becomes county road.
Right.
Another road project that is going to be a tremendous asset to our community is the Southwest 80th Avenue corridor. If you haven't heard yet, we are going to 4-lane Southwest 80th Avenue from 200 all the way to Highway 27.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that has been in the works for quite some time. We're already in the design phase.
She was just thinking about that.
That moves when I believe the number off the top of my head, let's see, we're creating a 4-lane highway running from a future, and that's actually going to connect into our future I-75 exit north of Ocala where the Buc-ee's will be. It will be a north-south corridor. It will route everybody past the city so that they'll go out past the WEC. They'll go out past Kalesa Township on top of the world.
State Road 200, I-75, a little bit right there.
It certainly will. And so the other one, of course, is the new interchange at I-75. I think you wanted to talk a little bit about that. That is going to be in between Highway 27 and Highway 326. And as everyone has already heard, there will be a Buc-ee's going there. Now, Buc-ee's will not be built until that project is done. And that interchange is a project by the state and Marion County and the federal government, of course, because I-75. There's a little red tape, but it's well on its way, and that's going to happen. It is work in progress.
It's in progress. We're good.
I love it. I love it. Last question, unless you have a further
Well,
comment.
I was just going to say, we talked about that penny sales tax, and just so that your listeners today understand, already we have paid for $56 million in road projects since 2016 with the penny sales tax. And that's 75 miles of new or improved roadway here in Marion County. And the great way to identify those projects is we usually put a little sign up that says this project funded by your penny sales tax. And if you look around on your ambulances, you probably see that little sticker as well. We want to make sure that the public knows where that penny goes. And if you ever want to see a list of where all of that money has gone, please go to www.marionfl.org. And there's a link that will provide you with how much we've taken in, how much we've spent, and what that money has been used for.
It shows people that, hey, my penny's going towards
Right.
That penny is so very important to our community. Without it, the only other revenue source is, let's see if you guys can guess.
property taxes. Yes.
Yeah. So think about it. And the great thing about the penny sales tax, 30% of it is paid by people just passing through our community that actually use those services. And everybody pays sales tax, not just property owners. I'm a sales tax girl.
So as we wrap up, I just wanted to give you one more question. I want to give you a minute to brag on not only yourself, which is hard for people to do, but brag on the county commissioners as a whole. Marion County is one of the top places to live in the country. That is because of our leaders, whether it's first responders, whether it's the mayor, whether it's the county commissioners, the city council. There's a reason why we are as good as we are. You may not want to toot your own horn, and that may be difficult, I understand, but brag on yourselves and your commissioners about what you're doing.
So I'll go back and touch base on the first thing that we talked about was in 2010 when I ran. My platform was diversifying our economic base so that we would never be in the position that we were in the Great Recession. And again, when I drive around and I see our Commerce Park and I see how we have diversified that economic base with FedEx, Chewy, AutoZone. Absolutely. We have another Commerce Park that we're working on now on 484, and there, we've got the Dollar General distribution center
Have
there.
you seen the Dollar General?
Yes.
Okay, we don't have time for that conversation.
Yeah. So we went from being third hardest in the state to now we're one of the fastest growing metros in the state. Our unemployment has never been over 4%, I think, since all this came back in. And so I'm pretty proud of that. That's just a small portion of it, though.
Right.
One of the things that I hear from other county commissioners as I travel the state, I was actually president of the Florida Association of Counties in 2016, which is our state association. And when we go to our conferences where we learn all sorts of different things, or we're talking about policy coming up that affects us statewide, we have other commissioners that say, in Marion County, you are so lucky because all 5 county commissioners get along. And we also have a great working relationship with not just our constitutional officers. We have a great working relationship with the municipalities that fall within Marion County, the city of Ocala, the city of Dunellen, the city of Bellevue, the town of Reddick, and the city of McIntosh. I hope I named them all. When you start naming things, inevitably you always forget something. We have great relationships with our business leaders within our community. We all work very hard to ensure that Marion County is a great place to live, work, and play. And I believe that we all pretty much walk lockstep with the same vision. That doesn't mean that occasionally we're not going to have a disagreement.
Sure.
But for the most part, we all want what is best, not just for the citizens of Marion County, but Marion County in a whole, because we're proud of our community and we want to make sure that we continue to thrive.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for taking the time
Absolutely.
to meet with us today.
Absolutely.
Kathy Bryant, County Commissioner, District 2. Let me say this in ending. You were not reelected over and over again just by accident.
Thank you.
You do a wonderful job. You're supported by this community. We thank you for what you do, and thank you for the time for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It was my pleasure.
So Thank you for watching. Once again, Community Connections, brought to you by Family's Choice Electrical Repair, Kathy Bryant, County Commissioner, District 2. Thanks for watching.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.